Stop waiting for a transformation and start being the one who makes it happen. Today we are lifting the weight of expectation. Stop waiting for Monday. Start lifting the weight today. Hello everyone, welcome back to Sonali Edake podcast, where we help you bridge the gap between a great idea and a healthy and motivated life. Today we have an incredible guest in our studio, a fitness coach who's on a mission to cut through the noise, crush your excuses, and finally build the body and the mindset you have always wanted. Get ready because this one is packed with energy, insight, inspiration, and things that might totally change how you think about working out and eating right. Let's get to work. Priyanka Indapurkar Pathak. Thank you for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much, Sonali, for inviting me. I'm super excited to talk about my favorite topic, health and fitness, especially for women.
Yes, perfect. Looks like this is going to be very energetic episode. So let's kick things off. First thing, I really want to know, like, a lot of us struggle with consistency when it comes to dieting and exercising regularly. So is this something you also face, or is it your struggle to stay consistent?
Yes, definitely. And not just consistency. When it comes to consistency, there are two things. One is time, because you will hear a lot of people, not just women, but a lot of people who will say, oh, I'm too busy to work out, I'm too busy to follow some diet plan. So that's number one reason why people are not able to stay consistent. So time is a big factor. And second factor is, even if they have time, they do not have a structure where they have structured program that they can follow, or they have structured meal plan that they can follow. So these are two main challenges when it comes to consistency. Again, we go through so many phases in life. We are studying, so we are busy studying and we don't have time to work out or cook for that reason. Then we get married, we have a family, we raise kids. I mean, you know better, you have a kid. So it gets very busy. And then, yeah, we are okay, I'm not able to stay consistent. I have these functions, I have to go here and there. And then, of course, yeah, even if we have time, we don't know how to spend that time on the right things. So, yeah, I would say these two things, I have struggled that a lot, but it's all about finding the time, making time for yourself, and then have right structure to get better at consistency.
Yeah, that's so true. That's a reality of life. And dear viewers, stay tuned because we are going to talk about how to stay consistent.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it very soon. So, what is one biggest myth on social media or on internet today that you think you would want to debunk today completely?
Yeah, there are a lot of myths, to be honest, when it comes to fitness. But the biggest one, I think, is that you need to work out every single day in a week. So all 5 days or 6 days, you need to be in a gym, work out so hard for 2 hours. Only then you'll see results. So that's the biggest myth for me. Even if you spend half an hour at home or in the gym, it's more than enough, because then you prevent burnouts. You have proper recovery days for yourself, and then you come back even stronger, because when you are recovered well, that's when you build those muscles, that's when you get stronger. If you just go every single day, you'll break your body and you might even injure yourself. So that's the biggest myth, that all or nothing approach. If I go every single day in a week, only then I'll see progress. That's not true, that's not accurate.
So, if I'm hearing correctly, are you saying working out 3 days a week or 4 days a week is sufficient?
Yes, definitely it's sufficient. Again, it depends on your goal, but that's how then structure and planning comes into the picture. How do you combine strength and cardio to achieve certain goal for yourself? But in general, for generic population, to build a lifestyle, healthy lifestyle, 3 to 4 days a week for 30 to 40 minutes a day, those 3 days, it's more than enough to stay healthy and have that lifestyle.
That's a relief, because this was my myth too. I also used to think that I should go to gym 5 or 6 days a week.
Yeah.
And I used to feel bad and guilty when whenever I would not go to gym for 5-6 days.
Right.
But it's good to know. Thank you for debunking that myth.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah.
So today we see a lot of diets have come in and people are overwhelmed by a lot of information that is available online. Like there is keto diet, vegan diet, intermittent fasting and whatnot. So many types of diets. So for someone who feels overwhelmed by all this information, what will you suggest? Where do they start?
Yeah, I am not a believer in following any strict diet or any strict meal plan unless there is like a medical condition and person is asked to follow a diet. For example, intermittent fasting generally is not recommended for women because of hormonal reasons, and stress levels sometimes get increased because of intermittent fasting as well. But yeah, if you have like diabetes or some other conditions, you can follow certain diets. But for generic population, what I would suggest is something called as PEACE structure or PEACE framework, I call it, which is PEACE. So PEACE stands for portion awareness. When it comes to dieting, it's not like a diet, but basically you should be mindful of how much you are eating. So if you have like 5 laddus, you should not be eating all 5 in single sitting, right? Just take one, enjoy the taste, and be done with it. So that you can enjoy the taste, enjoy what you like, enjoy your favorite foods, but you are still aware about the portion size. So that's P. E is to eat whole foods. Again, when it comes to weight loss or staying healthy, whole foods is very important, and that we forget. A lot of times we focus on packaged foods, just a lot of, because it's easily available in the market. So yeah, first of all, fill your plate with whole foods, like anything that grows in soil. That's whole foods. Cucumber, anything, salad, vegetables, legumes, lentils. So once you have that, then you have that balanced meal, and yeah, when you focus on whole foods, that's healthier, of course. Then A for adequate hydration. A lot of times we forget how much water we drink. Recommendation is at least 2.5 liters water a day for any adult. Whenever we are dehydrated, we drink. That's when we get thirsty and we have water. But you have to be mindful of, again, having proper hydration throughout the day, properly hydrated. That's when you don't feel hungry. Sometimes you are just thirsty and you tend to eat like some junk food, but you are really hydrated. So that's very important. A C for consistent meal timings. So when you eat at the same time, blood sugar level stays stable, stays more stable. That's proven in research as well. So consistent meal timings definitely is part of, again, healthier food habits. And again, eat for eating mindfully. So put your phones aside, don't look at the TV when you are eating dinner or eating any meals. Nowadays, everyone is on their phones or some sort of screens while eating. So you don't register your food when you are eating, and then you tend to eat more than required. That's why when you have like the right focus in food while eating, you eat just enough, you don't overeat, and then you also enjoy. So enjoy mindfully. So yeah, that's like the 5 pillars of not dieting, but having like good food habits or meal habits.
Perfect. That sounds amazing. Peace. I love it. So C stands for consistency. Another question I have is, even if we try practice all these things in our diet, still there are days when we do stressful eating, and it's all because of the work pressure or the kind of tensions we have in life. So what would you suggest for such days when we are doing a lot of stressful eating?
Yeah, it's very common. Stressful eating, emotional eating, we call it as, is very common. There is a difference between stress eating and hunger. So when you're hungry, you are really hungry, and you stop when you are satisfied. Unlike in stress eating or emotional eating, you just eat because you want to eat something, you are under stress, and it's not really hunger, so you don't even know that you are eating or you're overeating, and that causes more stress, even more guilt that you ate a bag of chips, and then the cycle repeats. So we want to avoid that. And how to avoid that is, first identify what are your comfort foods. What do you reach for when, let's say, you are emotional or you are under stress? You have to find pattern. Okay, I have access to a bag of chips that I'm eating, I have chocolate at home and I'm eating that, but I'm overeating that sometimes. When we understand, like, okay, these are the foods that I reach more often, you will know that this is emotional eating versus hunger. That's when you start again thinking, okay, is this really because I'm hungry, I'm eating? Is this because I'm really hungry, or is it because of stress eating? Try drinking water. You can go outdoor, you can just go for a walk, distract yourself, you can call someone, so that you're not eating because you're not hungry. This is just like a mental signal that's telling you to like eat something. Now if you really want to eat something like really bad, you're craving for something, again, portion control. You eat couple of chips or like 1 or 2 bites of chocolates and then just be done with it, so that you have eaten mindfully and then you don't feel guilty. You get back to your work or whatever and then just be done with it.
Yes, so portion control is something we should practice mindfully,
Yes.
consistently. That
Yeah.
sounds good. So definitely we'll try to practice that. So what does a perfect ideal breakfast looks like for you for having an energy throughout the day?
Yeah, perfect breakfast, I would say minimum 15 to 20 grams of protein in breakfast, and then after couple of hours of waking up. So that's like the ideal time, because when you wake up, you're already fasted throughout the night. So you're already under stress physiologically, cortisol levels are high. So when you eat in the morning and you have good amount of protein in breakfast, then your again cortisol levels come down, blood sugar stays stable, you are more energized in the morning, and then when you have good amount of protein, again you are full for longer, so that you don't eat junk food or you don't reach for something that you should not be eating. One of the examples is eggs. Like who can eat eggs, they can have eggs for breakfast, omelette or any type of scrambled eggs or anything of that sort. For vegetarians, they can go for green moong chilla or besan chilla. There are a lot of options. I also like poha. You can mix some like vegetables like green peas. You can put groundnuts in poha. But again, poha is mainly carbs, more amount of carbs. So you have to combine that with, okay, eggs. Or if you're not eating eggs, maybe 2 or 3 cubes of paneer or tofu, some sort of protein. For healthy fats, you can have nuts. And then for fiber, you can add like a fruit. So that's like a proper balanced breakfast. That's how you should be full in the morning and then, yeah, go throughout your day.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, there should be a perfect balance of proteins, good fats and carbs.
Yes, correct. Yeah, you should not be skipping any of these, because again, carbs you need for energy. Like some people just cut out carbs because they fear carbs, that carbs make you increase your weight, but that's not true. You have to balance everything. You have to have fats, good fats, avocado, nuts, olive oil. These are good fats that your body needs. So you cannot skip any of these macronutrients.
Sounds fair. And is there a way to calculate the calories we are having every time?
Yes, there is a way to calculate calories. Again, it depends on your goal, but it's a good practice to calculate calories. Usually, you log your meals in, like, there are several apps that you can log your meals. Again, when it comes to Indian food, those calories are not very accurate, because the way someone else will make curry or some Indian traditional food would be different. Even though the food is same, the preparation would be different, and it will vary person to person. So calorie amount will vary in each food, and that's why it's very difficult to calculate like accurate calories in Indian food. But it's a good habit to calculate calories by logging meals every single day for at least a few months, to get an idea of how much you are eating. So if you have weight loss as a goal, if you are eating too much, then obviously you're going to gain weight. But if you know that this is my calorie goal, you will not go beyond that and you'll lose weight. So that's where it helps with your goal. It helps calculate your macronutrients, like how much protein you are eating, fat you are eating. So yeah, I would start with logging meals in, like, there are a few apps that I can suggest. You can also do like 1 cup as well, portion control wise, that this is 1 cup dal, for example, and then you can use Google to calculate like tur dal, or there is like, for Indian food it is a bit difficult, but you have to do that homework in order to get results.
Yes, I believe we'll have to do that homework for first few days,
Yes.
and eventually we'll get a grasp of how to calculate the calories and how much to take, because a lot of times the amount of oil we use, the type of oil we use, the spices, that also gets calculated in the calorie.
Yes.
And that varies based on how the food is cooked.
Correct, exactly. Yeah. That's
Okay.
true.
So let's talk about strength training. So I have read a lot, and I think there are a lot of myths when it comes to women who are trying to do the strength training. So what is your opinion on that?
Yes, what I have seen in the past is women, specifically like South Asian women, are very scared of strength training, and I was one of them. I asked my trainer back in the day if I'll become bulky, if I'll gain a lot of muscles, if I start weightlifting or strength training, but that's not true. Again, it's a myth. So that's why a lot of women they tend to focus more on cardio, like running. They go to the gym, they will just run on treadmill or do elliptical or biking, or Zumba classes or yoga. They'll focus on that. That's important. I'm not saying it's not required. It has its own benefits. But strength training, in my opinion, is non-negotiable, especially for women again, because after the age of 30, women start losing muscle mass by at least 3%. So each year they'll start losing muscle mass by 3%, which is huge. And you need muscle strength when we even get older, like, to be independent. So you have to maintain that muscle mass. And how do you maintain that muscle mass? Is through strength training. So that's non-negotiable, at least to do 3 times a week. And it doesn't have to be like heavy weight lifting. When we talk about strength training, some women think that someone is lifting like 220 pounds, like deadlifts or doing some Olympic weightlifting. But strength training can be body weight exercises, it can be resistance band, lightweight dumbbells. So it's all about how you structure strength training. So you have to start as soon as possible, at any age, I would say.
Okay, that's insightful information. For a beginner, what will you suggest? Shall they start with cardio exercises or with lifting weights?
Again, I'm biased towards strength training, so I would start with strength training for sure. But again, it depends on your weight, your fitness goal. So for example, if you are planning to lose weight, if your goal is to lose weight, then strength training plus cardio is beneficial, because you need cardio at the end for like endurance and stamina, etc. So you need that combination. But if you are wanting to gain some weight or gain muscles, if that's the goal, then more of strength training is required. So both is required, but how you combine that, it depends on your fitness goal. For example, if someone wants to run a marathon, that's their goal, then you do more of cardio, running, sprinting, the lower body strength workouts. So more of cardio, endurance, stamina wise. But yeah, for beginners, definitely combination of both is what I recommend.
Okay. And when we start exercising during those first few weeks, we see our body having pain, there is muscle pain. So how do we differentiate, or how do we identify which one is good pain, which one is bad pain? How to differentiate that?
Yeah, correct. As you said, when you start something new, your body is not yet adapted to that particular exercise. For example, when you go on a hike after a long time, your lower body will be very sore. But that's not bad pain. I would say that's good, because that's just soreness basically. Your body is still recovering, it's under recovery. So soreness is good. There is something called as DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. So you are sore for a couple of days, up to 3 days you'll feel sore. When it's like a new exercise, or very strenuous exercise, you'll feel sore. But then it goes away with like good recovery. You can still go on walks so that your blood circulation is still there. With good amount of protein and sleep, you will recover. So that's good part. But then bad pain is basically injury. I call it as injury straight away. It's immediate. You snap or you pop something, you hear something, and then you have that injury right there, and you cannot move that particular muscle. You have swelling right away. You're not able to use that muscle for any like exercise. So that's when that's a bad injury. You should stop. That's bad pain. And yeah, it depends on how bad it is. Like if it's like proper injury like muscle tear or whatnot, it'll take like weeks up to like few months to recover very well. Versus for soreness is mainly, even if so what happens is when you exercise, your muscles will have like tiny tears, macroscopic, very very small tears, and when they recover they get very strong. So that's the recovery process. So that's good. So that happens when you are under recovery. But then the bad pain, which is like more of injury, you need specific treatments. You might need surgery depending on the injury. So that's bad, and that's immediate. It doesn't go away like immediately in a couple of days.
Yeah, thank you for giving us that information. That's something new to know. And if somebody hearing this podcast has say only 15 to 20 minutes per day for their exercise, what will you suggest? How do they utilize this 15 to 20 minutes effectively?
Yeah, 15 to 20 minutes is good amount of time. What you can do is 5 minutes of warm up, 10 minutes of workout, and 5 minutes of cool down. That's how you should structure that. In warm up, you start with some dynamic stretching. You can do like glute bridges or hip circles, arm circles, neck stretches, etc. for 5 minutes. Then in like those 10 minutes of workout time, select 10 exercises. And usually if you have such a short amount of time, go for functional movements. You can choose squats, glute bridges again, dead bug. You can do mountain climbers, jumping jacks. So whatever you like, you can select 10 exercises. And then each exercise you should perform for 40 seconds, 20 seconds rest. So that's like your 10 minutes of workout right there. Don't stop, just 20 seconds rest, and then you move on to the next exercise. So that's 10 minutes of workout. And then in the last 5 minutes, you can do like normal stretching, but static stretching. So you hold certain stretches for at least 20 seconds so that they are properly stretched. And because if you don't stretch yourself, you'll become muscles will become very tight. You have worked out, and the soreness will be there for a long time if you don't stretch. So 5 minutes of stretching with good amount of static stretches is good. So yeah, 5, 10, 5. That's how I would break down those 20 minutes.
That's great. And can you suggest us, say, 2 to 3 simple exercises that anyone can do in order to fix the slouch that has been created because of sitting at desk all day long?
Yeah, sure. Very simple 3 stretches. I would say start with like neck rotations, because you're always, sometimes I see people slouching as you said, and even when we are having like phone in our hands, we go like our neck is more forward. So for that you can do neck rotations, just like side to side. You can do neck rotation slowly, clockwise and anti-clockwise. And you can just use couple of minutes of you don't have to spend a lot of time also. When you have like a couple of minutes of break during your meetings, you can do that. Secondly, you can do shoulder stretches. So just rotate your shoulders. You can keep your hands like this, or you can use your hands like this. So that's a very nice stretch as well, including your back. And then one for back, again, because you're sitting on a chair, you can just do it, is side bend. Okay. It's like bending on the side. So okay. Yeah, that helps a lot.
Yeah, that seems easy to do.
Yes.
And possible for everybody to do.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. And we often start strong in the month of January. Whenever new year, new festivals come in, we start strong. But within 2 to 3 weeks, there are a lot of people who have started skipping the gym, skipping the exercises, diets. So, what will you say? How do we convert that temporary goal into permanent identity?
Yeah, that's a good question. And this is again very common when we are going into like a new year, we have new year resolutions and then they just fade away after a while. I would say very simple answer is know your why. Why are you doing this? If you have a wedding upcoming in May, you are doing it for your wedding. You want to look good. You have summer vacation coming. You want to look good at the beach. You know your motivation. Know your why. Once you know your why, you will have a goal in your mind and you work towards that goal. If you don't know your goal, I mean, you'll not reach anywhere. You'll just fall off the track. So yeah, I would start with know your why. Um, if you just skip one day, that's not too bad, but then how you get back on track is more important. So that will you'll get better at consistency when you think from that perspective, that you have a goal in mind. What has been done is done. Now I have to follow certain things, be more consistent, be more disciplined. So yeah, know your motivation.
Yeah, absolutely. Instead of, getting into some health issues later on, and then doctors telling us to get on a diet, strict exercise, instead of going through that all phase, we should start exercising, having a good food right away, so that we'll avoid all the health issues later on.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the things that why I am also working out. Like 20 years down the line, you want to be independent, you want to carry your own grocery bags, you want to carry your bags for your vacation. Once you start thinking from that perspective, you have to start right now. You cannot be like 20 years later, I don't want to see myself like not able to carry my own bags, basically.
Yep, absolutely. And how can someone handle the bad day when they have not had a chance to exercise, or they have had a lot of junk food, they did not eat properly, and now they are feeling guilty about it? So, how can they handle the bad day instead of feeling guilty uh, and giving up completely?
Yeah, bad days are very normal and very common. And not just bad days. Sometimes you have like festivals, especially like where we come from. We have a lot of traditional traditions and festivals that are like a week long, and you cannot like follow anything. We have Indian weddings. We have birthday parties, office parties, so many things. So at the end, it comes to life as well. You cannot just be very strict about yourself of not eating and not enjoying at even those birthday parties and be very disciplined. So that's not how it's going to work. So acknowledge that I had a bad day yesterday. I did enjoy the party. It was very good. Done is done. I ate that pizza. I enjoyed it, because what will happen is once you start feeling guilty, you just start thinking about what happened yesterday and you kind of replay that again and again in your mind, and you just waste your time. So instead of that, think about how I can get back on track right after. So that, because 5 years down the line, like you won't even remember what was your weight yesterday. What will be more important is what you did afterwards. So did you get back on track, or did you just like keep on thinking that okay, I ate that, now I'm not disciplined, I'm not motivated, I don't, like, you shouldn't give up right away. You just get back on track, you follow the plan, and just that's how. Just don't think bad about yourself and feel guilty.
Sounds fair. And there is a lot of discussion regarding sugar intake. So, a lot of people say sugar is good and we should definitely give sugar to kids. But there is a group of people who says sugar causes hyperactivity in kids, so we should avoid it as much as possible. So, what does science and data and your study say?
Yeah, so I think this question can be broken down into two parts. One, you mentioned that sugar is bad and we should not eat sugar. And the second part is, I think, kids eating sugar and being hyperactive. So, eating sugar, again, our body physiologically the glucose is, the body generates glucose automatically through carbs, protein, and fats breakdown. So your body does not need that additional refined sugar. So that's how the science works. But at the end, again, as I mentioned, life is life. You cannot like avoid. 95% people cannot avoid eating sugar at all. Like you'll have added sugar in some packaged foods. You'll have again birthday parties, kids' birthday parties, or something of that sort where you have access to the sugar. If you don't want to eat sugar, it's up to you. But it's again all about balance. Portion control it plays a big role. You eat one piece of cake and just forget about it. That's it. That's my take on sugar. It's all about balance. Secondly, sugar causing hyper activities in kids is also a myth. It's more of a correlation, because again I gave example of birthday parties where kids are already active and they're hyperactive, already excited. So when you eat sugar, I mean, it doesn't have any impact on them. They're already hyperactive. So sometimes that's where it has come. It is brought into the picture as much, but there is no scientific evidence that sugar, when given to the kids, they become hyperactive. Of course, you should not be giving too much of sugar to the kids. We all know that sugar has bad impact in the long run if consumed in large amounts. So we have to limit the consumption. For kids, yeah, I would say limit as much as you can. Even for yourself, limit as much as you can. But for adults, yeah, you have control on yourself and you can balance your meals, etc. But kids, yeah, I would be very conscious of the fact that how much sugar they are eating, and yeah, what you're giving to them. But to answer your question, yeah, that's a myth and there is no correlation scientifically.
Okay, so this is something psychological. When kids see the birthday party or cake, there is some reason of celebration, so they get excited or overexcited because of maybe looking at a lot of kids their age playing around.
Yes.
And the celebration thing. So definitely we should not cut down the sugar to 0%, but there should be some sugar, but again that should be in moderation and in limits. It should not be too much again.
Yeah. I mean, access to the kids especially cannot be avoided in my opinion, because again, there are so many functions. There are, like, in school there will be something here and there, or cookies, chocolates, but again, you have to limit. But yeah, I don't think you can do it like 0% limitation. Like you cannot put 0% limitations for.
Okay. So Ramadan, currently Ramadan period is going on, and it's a beautiful festival, and I'm truly impressed by people who observe the fasting. So if someone wants to start fasting, what will your advice be to start step by step?
When it comes to fasting, you are not supposed to eat or drink throughout the day. They have their own process to start fasting, but when it comes to exercising, you should not be exercising on empty stomach. So you are already fasting for entire day. When you break your fast, only then maybe after an hour you can exercise, so that you are not exercising on an empty stomach. Or you can exercise early in the morning because you are eating before the sunrise. So you can again keep like an hour gap between your food and workout. When it comes to actually starting your fast, yeah, they have certain rules that you'll have to follow. Like you cannot eat after sunrise, and only iftar is when you break the fast. So yeah, that's the fasting part of it. When it comes to exercising, yeah, I would strongly advise against exercising on an empty stomach.
So let's move to our next segment, which is lightning round or rapid fire round.
Okay.
So you have to either choose or answer the question in words without thinking too much. So, walking or running,
Walking.
early bird or sleeping in.
Early bird.
One word to describe healthy life.
Uh, Balance.
Your all-time favorite exercise.
Deadlift.
All-time favorite food.
Home cooked food, anything. Indian home cooked food.
Anything?
I love everything, yes.
Okay. So, morning workouts or night owl session.
Evening, not very late at night though.
Okay. Cardio or weightlifting.
Weightlifting, 100%.
Oh, that was perfect. So, before we wrap up our session, can you give our listeners one exercise they can do in next 24 hours, and maybe if they can continue that for next 6 months or so, it will make some good impact on their health?
Yes, definitely. First of all, find time, because I'm seeing a lot of people complaining that I don't have time to exercise. So first of all, find time for yourself. Everyone has 24 hours a day, but if you're prioritizing your health, you will find time. You'll make time for yourself. So find at least 10 to 20 minutes throughout your day, either in the morning, evening, or even after lunch. And if you are telling me that you don't have time, then check your screen time on your phone. And if it's more than 20 minutes, then you have time for sure. So find 20 minutes. And as I've mentioned before, break it down into warm up, 10 minutes of your activity, and then 5 minutes of your cool down. So when you structure that, and there are a lot of videos as well online, once you get into that habit of working out for at least 20 minutes a day, then you become consistent, then you follow a structure, you have a goal. But first is to get into a habit of working out. It's like brushing your teeth every single day. That's how you should feel about working out. Even if you miss one day, you should feel like, oh, I have missed something. That's when you know that you have built that habit. Like if I don't work out, I feel that something is missing. So that's how you should feel about yourself, because it's all about like building a healthy lifestyle. It's not like a 3-month or 6-month sprint. It's like a lifestyle thing. This should be something that you should incorporate for your entire life. So find time, structure your workouts. There are a lot of online structures available. And yeah, seek help if you don't know how to work out, if you can't follow a structure, if you don't know form or technique. Instead of like injuring yourself, it's better getting someone's help so that they can explain the workouts as well. Yeah, I think that's one thing that you can start prioritizing your health with.
Yes, and I agree. We should spend minimum 15 to 20 minutes for taking care of ourselves. So, viewers, if you're talking on phone on daily basis, don't just sit on couch and talk. Instead, go out in a safe place like park or jogging track, and then you can put on your headphones and run or have a brisk walk at the same time. So this has been a very incredible conversation, Priyanka. Thank you so much for giving us so much of information. This session was full of energy, enthusiasm, and a lot of information. I loved this conversation. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, Sonali, again for inviting me. And yeah, hope this was insightful. And yeah, some people get inspired, because a lot of people think that they cannot do it, but definitely they can. So yeah, it was nice talking to you as well.
Dear listeners, health doesn't have to be hard. Just do the simple things consistently. If this episode fired you up, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Leave us a comment and please do subscribe. We will see you in next one. Until then, move your body, feed your soul, and remember, progress over perfection always. I'm Sonali Edake signing off, and I'll talk to you in next one. Thank you. We are wearing same color
I know, right? It feels like we have color coordinated and we've decided up front. But yeah,
it's a coincidence. But what to say? We look beautiful. That's it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.